There are many places in the world with unusual realities, but few would expect that in Europe there is a country filled with castles, natural spas, and lakes where swimming without clothes is common. A land where, once each year, young men plant a tree outside the house of the woman they hope to win over. We are about to look more closely at Slovakia, one of Europe's hidden treasures. Slovakia preserves traditions as curious as the Sabaka, also known as Wet Monday. On Easter Monday, men use willow branches to gently tap women, wishing them good health and fertility. Slovak women are often described as among the most beautiful in the world. This country also has unusual aspects such as underground nightlife, a love for nude bathing in its many lakes and spas, and mysterious landscapes covered by vast forests. It is also the nation with the highest number of castles per capita, which has fueled beliefs in old legends. Among them is Čachtice Castle, the most famous and darkest in Slovakia. Many consider it one of the most frightening places in the world because of the story of the bloody Countess, a woman regarded by some historians as the most ruthless in history, and believed to be entombed within its walls. Not long ago, Slovakia also experienced its own version of a gold and silver rush when mines of these precious metals were discovered. The towns that emerged from this period are still called the City of Gold and the City of Silver. These are just some of the remarkable realities of Slovakia that we will uncover in more detail. Nestled right in the center of Europe, Slovakia covers only about 49,000 square kilometers and is often affectionately called the heart of the old continent. But what it lacks in size, it makes up for in diversity. In the north, the Carpathian Mountains dominate the skyline, home to the High Tatras, peaks so majestic that locals proudly call them their mini Alps. Gerlakovsky Stit, the tallest summit at 2,655 meters, pierces the sky as a symbol of endurance and national pride. Winters here are long and white, with small mountain towns, and summers bring endless green trails filled with wildflowers. Yet just a few hours south, the landscape softens. The Danube River carves through fertile plains and vineyards, connecting Slovakia to Austria and Hungary. Slovakia has a mild continental climate with 4 clear seasons. In winter, temperatures usually stay between -2 and 3 degrees Celsius, while summer days are comfortably warm, reaching from 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. Before we move on, have you ever heard the name Elizabeth Bathory? Leave a comment below and tell us what you know about this infamous blood countess. One of the most remarkable features of Slovakia is its rich architectural legacy, which includes over 100 castles and ruins spread across the country. Although it is small in size, Slovakia holds the title of having the highest number of castles per person in the world. Each fortress preserves a piece of history, filled with stories of medieval warriors, political intrigue, and even legends that touch on the supernatural. Among these historic sites, Čachtice Castle stands out as a mysterious and captivating landmark, forever linked to the infamous Countess Elizabeth Bathory. Elizabeth Bathory, born in 1560, became the wife of a nobleman from the powerful Bathory family when she was just 14 years old. As part of her dowry, she received Čachtice Castle along with 17 surrounding villages. After her husband's death, she moved into the castle, where her behavior began to change drastically. Over time, she was said to have grown paranoid and cruel, punishing her servants with shocking brutality. Her violent nature soon took a darker turn as she began bringing young girls from nearby towns to work at the castle, girls who never returned home and were never heard from again. According to legend, Elizabeth came to believe that drinking the blood of these girls would preserve her youth and beauty. This obsession turned her into a lasting symbol of terror and inhuman cruelty. Today, despite its grim past, Čachtice Castle remains open to visitors, offering guided tours that allow people to walk through its haunting halls for a few minutes. Slovak women represent a combination of tradition and modern life. Their life expectancy reaches about 82 years, nearly 6 years longer than men. At the same time, the birth rate remains low, averaging only around 1.5 children per woman. This shows a rising tendency toward independence and later marriage. In terms of appearance, light skin, blonde or brown hair, and blue or gray eyes are often seen. Young women are usually between 165 and 167 centimeters tall and tend to have slender body shapes. In the countryside, traditions are kept alive. Women wear crave at festivals and continue to pass down local cooking habits. In urban areas, they work in different professions and many are fluent in English or German. Comment number 3 below if you want to know the secrets to easily connect with beautiful Slovak girls. We'll reveal them right after. And don't forget to support us by liking the video and tap the hype button right below. It really helps me earn a bit of extra income, and we promise to keep bringing you exciting content. Back to the Slovak people, they tend to live at a slower, more relaxed pace. They are quiet, modest, and calm. They are not loud, do not rush to start conversations, but always behave with politeness and respect. At first meetings, they may not smile, avoid a strong handshake, and may appear somewhat reserved. Yet once accepted as a neighbor, coworker, or friend, their warmth becomes clear. They will offer help, invite you into their home, share food, talk about family, or even include you in weekend activities like skiing or mushroom picking. For Slovaks, honesty, order, and responsibility are important values. They are punctual, keep promises, and dislike showing off. Family life is close, based on affection and respect. With foreigners, they may appear cautious at first, but if you show respect for their traditions, learn some Slovak words, and approach with sincerity, you will find lasting kindness and hospitality. If there is one tradition that strongly defines Slovak culture, it is Wet Monday at Easter. This custom, called Sabaka, is observed on the Monday following Easter. On this day, men splash water on women and lightly whip them with willow branches decorated with ribbons. The act is meant to symbolize fertility and good health. It is believed to bring happiness while also serving as a blessing for women's prosperity and fertility. For many men, it is a way to express romantic feelings. The splashing of water is also connected with the idea of cleansing and renewal. A Wet Monday becomes a joyful occasion for singles to mingle and for couples to take part in a playful and cheerful way. Linked to this theme of connection between young men and women, Slovakia also has another remarkable custom, the May tree. On the night of April 30th, single men plant a May tree, often a birch or a young tree adorned with colorful ribbons, in front of the house of a single girl. This gesture is seen as an honor to the girl's beauty and fertility. In earlier times, choosing a girl for the May tree carried romantic meaning and even hinted at deeper intentions, since it was a clear signal of admiration. The May tree represents more than just romance. It also shows the desire for bonding and commitment. By placing the tree before a girl's home, a man openly signals his wish to court her. This tradition has led to many relationships, and each year young people look forward to its arrival with anticipation and excitement. It's fascinating that this cheerful Easter tradition isn't unique to Slovakia. Just across the border, in the Czech Republic, men also lightly tap women with willow branches, but for slightly different reasons and with their own unique cultural touch. If you think Slovakia's Wet Monday is unusual, wait until you see how the Czechs celebrate it. Click the link at the top corner of your screen or the pinned comment below to watch now. And don't forget to come back to immerse yourself in Slovakia's clothing-optional culture. In recent decades, Slovakia has emerged as one of Europe's leading places for those who enjoy a clothing-optional lifestyle. This contrast often surprises outsiders, since the country has deep roots in conservative traditions. Yet public acceptance of nudism, especially around lakes, has grown steadily, where nudity is understood as a way to connect with nature and express personal freedom. The experience of living without clothes in Slovakia attracts not only the youth but also people of different ages. Across the country, there are many lakes, both natural and man-made, that provide relief during the heat of summer. One of the best-known areas for this lifestyle is Čachtice, situated close to Bratislava, the capital city. The nude beaches of Čachtice and Veľký Drázdiak have become popular spots for visitors and enthusiasts during the summer, offering a welcoming place for relaxation under the sun without the limits of clothing. Spas in Slovakia, much like in the wider Central European region, also embrace nudity as part of the sauna and steam bath tradition. It is seen as both healthy and practical, since it avoids moisture trapped in fabric and encourages an atmosphere of comfort and respect. Some spas dedicate specific nudist days, often called textile-free days, when nudity is permitted or required in all areas. Among these, the Piestany Spa is the most famous, known worldwide for its thermal waters and unique mud treatments. Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, is a remarkable city where history is deeply woven into its culture and architecture. One of its most intriguing features is that it is often called the City of Many Names, a title that comes from the different names it has carried over time. In the Middle Ages, it was known as Istropolis, later called Pressburg under the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and in Hungarian it was referred to as Pozsony, a name still used in Hungary today. It was not until 1919, with the founding of Czechoslovakia, that the city officially received the name Bratislava, a reflection of its layered history and cultural identity. Among the city's architectural highlights, the most striking is the radio building, famous for its unusual design shaped like an upside-down pyramid. A daily custom in Slovakia, also seen in Bratislava, is the habit of removing shoes before entering a home. Much like other traditions connected to lifestyle and well-being, this practice is meant to keep the house clean and to preserve a sense of balance. Guests are welcomed with the same courtesy, and they too are expected to follow this tradition. Perhaps the detail that most captivates visitors to this medieval city is its lively nightlife. In Bratislava, many bars are located underground, which gives them a special appeal. Hidden below the surface, these places offer warmth and comfort, making them ideal retreats from the cold weather outside. Without windows, the atmosphere becomes more intimate, where gentle lighting and soft background music create a setting that feels both inviting and enchanting. Beyond the capital city of Bratislava, Slovakia offers many places filled with legends, natural wonders, and mystery. Among them, Banská Štiavnica and Kremnica stand out as two remarkable examples that reflect the spirit and beauty of this country. The historic architecture of Banská Štiavnica, with its Baroque churches and brightly painted houses, speaks of its mining past. Known as the Silver City, it was once a leading hub for silver extraction. Today, its heritage is preserved in museums and celebrated through festivals that honor its history. Alongside the Silver City is Slovakia's city of gold, the town of Kremnica. Since the 13th century, gold mining has shaped its destiny and secured its place as one of Europe's wealthy centers. Kremnica resembles a fairy tale setting with stone-paved streets and centuries-old buildings that invite visitors to discover its past. Local legends also add to its charm. One tale says that the lords of Sasovsky Castle discovered gold after finding grains inside a partridge during a hunt, leading them to dig and uncover the mines that gave birth to the city. Another story tells of a cat that revealed hidden gold, but whose greedy owners met a tragic fate when their daughter refused to share with starving miners. Every country tells its story through its symbols, its capital, its flag, and even the drink people share in celebration or comfort. The Slovak flag is another powerful expression of identity. Its three horizontal stripes, white, blue, and red, represent the shared Slavic heritage that unites Central and Eastern Europe. But it's the national coat of arms, resting proudly on the left side, that tells Slovakia's personal story. The double white cross, standing on three blue hills, symbolizes faith, resilience, and the country's mountainous landscape, the Tatras, Fatra, and Matra ranges that form its natural crown. Every time it waves, it reminds Slovaks of their endurance and unity through centuries of change. And then there's Kofola, Slovakia's beloved national drink, a sweet, dark cola born during communist times when Western brands were banned. Unlike Coca-Cola or Pepsi, Kofola's flavor is herbal and slightly tangy, made from a blend of natural extracts and fruit essences. For Slovaks, it's more than a soft drink, it's nostalgia in a bottle. It tastes of summer afternoons, family picnics, and childhood memories. Even today, locals often choose it over global brands, a small but proud act of cultural loyalty. If there's one thing Slovakia never runs out of, it's natural beauty. Though small in size, the country is a masterpiece of mountains, caves, rivers, and forests, a land where every horizon hides another surprise. The crown jewel of Slovakia's landscapes is the High Tatras, a breathtaking mountain range that forms part of the mighty Carpathians. The tallest of them all, Gerlachowski Stit, stands at 2,655 meters and is often called the roof of the Carpathians. Slovakia is home to more than 6,000 caves, each a natural wonder in its own right. The Domanovska Ice Cave, with its frozen halls and shimmering blue chambers, is among the most famous. Inside, massive ice columns glow like glass sculptures, forming shapes that change with the seasons. Nearby, the Ochtinska Aragonite Cave sparkles with rare mineral formations found in only a few places on Earth. But nature here isn't just cold stone and high peaks, it's also warmth and healing. Across the country, thermal springs bubble up from deep underground, rich with minerals that have soothed travelers for centuries. The spa town of Piestiny, famous for its curative mud and hot waters, attracts visitors from around the world seeking relief and renewal. Here, wellness feels timeless, a gentle harmony between earth, water, and human spirit. Wander through Slovakia, and you'll soon feel as though you've stepped into a storybook. In the capital, one building captures this magic perfectly, the Blue Church of St. Elizabeth in Bratislava. With its pastel blue walls, rounded towers, and delicate white trim, it looks like something built for a dream rather than a city. Designed in the early 20th century in the Art Nouveau style, the church is loved by locals for its gentle, whimsical beauty. Travel north into the mountains, and you'll find Vielkalike, a UNESCO World Heritage Site frozen in time. This tiny village, with its wooden houses painted in soft yellows and greens, feels like a living museum of 18th century rural life. A few hours away lies another hidden gem, the village of Sikmany, famous for its white geometric patterns painted on dark wooden cottages. The designs, delicate spirals, hearts, and crosses, aren't just decoration, they're a language of symbols meant to protect homes from misfortune. Each pattern has meaning, and together they form a village-sized tapestry of Slovak folklore. No country in the world has more castles per capita than Slovakia, more than 100 of them scattered across mountains, valleys, and ancient forests. One of the grandest of them all is Spies Castle, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the largest castle complexes in Central Europe. Rising high above the valley, it looks like something out of a medieval epic. Further north, Orava Castle clings dramatically to a rocky cliff above the Orava River. It's often called the most picturesque castle in Slovakia, and for good reason. Built in layers that rise like a staircase to the sky, it has watched over the land since the 13th century. But beyond these stone giants, Slovakia's legends live in its people, none more famous than Juraj Janosik, the country's own Robin Hood. Born in the late 1600s, Janosik was a young soldier who became an outlaw and became a symbol of justice and rebellion. Tales say he stole from the rich to help the poor, outwitted the authorities, and roamed the mountains with fearless grace. His capture and execution only made him a legend, a hero who stood for freedom against oppression. Even today, songs and statues honor him as the spirit of courage and defiance. For a small country, Slovakia has given the world some astonishing minds and remarkable achievements. One of Slovakia's most celebrated innovators is Stefan Baník, the man who gave the world the modern parachute. Born in 1870 in a small village near Smolenice, Baník emigrated to the United States, where he worked as a factory laborer. But after witnessing a tragic air accident, he became obsessed with finding a way to save pilots in distress. In 1913, he patented his design for a functional parachute and even tested it himself, jumping from a building and later from an airplane to prove its reliability. His invention was soon adopted by the U.S. Army, saving countless lives and securing Slovakia's place in aviation history. But not all records here belong to science. Some are born from artistry and faith. In the small town of Rajeka Lesna, visitors can see the world's largest wooden nativity scene, a breathtaking masterpiece carved entirely by hand. Known as the Slovak Bethlehem, this enormous log cabin display depicts not only the birth of Christ but also scenes of Slovak history, life, and tradition. And then there's the world of art and modern design, embodied by the Danubiana Muhlenstein Art Museum, one of the most striking contemporary art spaces in Europe. To taste Slovakia is to experience comfort, warmth, and the richness of tradition. Slovak cuisine is simple yet hearty, born from mountain life and family tables where nothing goes to waste. The national dish, brinzov haluski, combines soft potato dumplings with creamy sheep cheese and crispy bacon, humble ingredients turned into pure satisfaction. During winter, the aroma of kapustnica, a tangy sauerkraut soup with sausage and mushrooms, fills homes, bringing families together around steaming bowls of flavor. For dessert, locals love sulents, tender potato rolls coated with poppy seeds, sugar, and melted butter, a sweet reminder of childhood. But Slovakia's most surprising delights come in liquid form. The mountain-born liqueur, Tetratia, warms body and soul, ranging from a gentle 17% to a fiery 72% alcohol. Then there's Palinka, a homemade fruit brandy distilled in nearly every village, plum, pear, or cherry, each with its own story. Together, these flavors reflect what Slovakia truly is, strong yet kind, simple yet deeply soulful, a country best understood not just through its sights, but through its taste. In Slovakia, mushroom picking isn't just a hobby, it's practically a national sport. When autumn arrives and mist hangs low over the forests, families grab their wicker baskets and head into the woods. From grandparents to children, Everyone knows how to spot the prize boletus, the king of mushrooms, and how to avoid its poisonous lookalikes. It's a skill passed down through generations, blending survival, patience, and love for nature. More than 40% of Slovakia is covered in forest, making it a paradise for foragers. Weekends often mean quiet walks under towering pines, the soft crunch of leaves, and the thrill of finding a perfect mushroom hidden in the moss. Locals say it's not just about food, it's about peace. Mushroom hunting connects people to the land, to memory, and to each other. Some regions even hold friendly competitions to see who can gather the most or find the rarest kind, often celebrated with grilled bread and homemade palinka. In Slovakia, the forest feeds both body and spirit, one mushroom at a time. In Slovakia, even the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and nowhere is that clearer than in the country's passion for soccer, its love for old steam trains, and its surprising generosity in public transport. In the small town of Sirni Balog, soccer fans enjoy one of the world's most unusual stadiums. During matches, a fully operational steam train occasionally chugs right through the edge of the field, just a few meters from the players. The smoke curls into the air as whistles echo over the cheers of the crowd. This quirky scene isn't a tourist stunt. It's a living symbol of how Slovakia blends its love of sport with its respect for tradition. The old narrow-gauge railway, built for logging more than a century ago, still runs today, connecting generations through shared wonder. But Slovakia's sense of connection extends beyond nostalgia. It's also deeply practical. In a remarkable social policy, many citizens can travel completely free on the national railway system. All children, full-time students under 26, seniors over 62, and people with disabilities can ride trains across the country without paying a cent, as long as they're citizens or residents of the European Union. After discovering all 15 of these fascinating truths, one thing becomes clear: Slovakia may be small, but it holds an entire world within its borders. If this journey through Slovakia has opened your curiosity, imagine what it's like to see it in person. To stand at the foot of the high Tatras, wander through the ruins of Čachtice castle, or sip Tatratia while watching the sun set over Bratislava's rooftops. Slovakia may not shout for attention, but it always rewards those who listen. So which Slovak tradition or place amazed you most? Was it the bloody Countess, the May tree, or perhaps those underground bars of Bratislava? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you've watched this far, we're thrilled to know you enjoyed the video. Tap the like button so we know this content is making a difference. And if you're watching on your phone, be sure to tap the hype button below. It only takes a few seconds, but it can help this video go a lot further. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Wishing you the best of luck.